Okay, it occurred to me that I should probably show you some steps along the way. What I've done is I took my project, and here at school we have these things called banding wheels. I just put my project on the banding wheel, hold the bag down. This would work the same if you're working on a desktop at home. Then I took the end of my wood modeling tool and I was trying to work out where I wanted the surface, the grooves of the pumpkin to be. So that's what the first lines are. But I looked at it and I don't like it because it's not dramatic enough. So I took my metal ribbon tool, as you can see here, and all I did was take, hang on one second, and carve down like this to make it a little deeper, a little more pronounced. Then what I was doing is taking my thumb and just softening those edges and my finger because I want it to look organic. So I come down and all this clay, I'm just picking it up, and you can save it and just wedge it up, but you smooth that down like that. And I'm just making it look like it belongs there. And then I'll go through and cut the line. I've got this little knife. I'll just reopen that line up and smooth that up once I get all my surfaces done. Let me show you another one. I'm gonna start here. Just pull down, and I'm digging deeper as I come down because I want it more dramatic. Take this, put it in my recycle clay. Then I'm gonna take my thumb, my finger, and kind of start smoothing those down so I can get a nice dark, deep curve that's going to visually contrast with what's around it, and kind of smooth it down like that. And you can see I've already done these that way, just kind of working my way around my pumpkin. And then I'm going to just taper these in. I'll probably just use my finger for this part. Just taper these into the center just a little bit so that it looks organic. See, it's not as shallow there at the top. And that's how you start shaping your pumpkin. Once you get the primary, or whatever it is you're making, you get the primary shape, then you start shaping the outside of it. And I'm gonna put some kind of texture, I think, on these panels, but I want a contrast between the groove and the panel. Okay, today we're gonna learn to slip and score. Now, anything you put on the structure of your pinch pot, like this vine and leaf, has to be scored and then slipped to put on so it doesn't fall off. Now, you may fool Mrs. Hosfeld and myself, but you're not gonna fool that kiln when we fire it. If it's not put on very well, it's gonna fall off. So we're gonna start out by putting the stem on my pumpkin. So the way I do that, I'm gonna take my potter's needle, hold it like you would a pencil. Then I'm gonna kind of outline where my stem is gonna sit. Then I'm gonna take my stem and I'm just gonna take and cut grooves in the bottom of it. And you need to do grooves just like this. Think of it like you're making a clay zipper, like it's on a jacket or your jeans or a dress or something like that. These are gonna be interlocking clay teeth that will hold your project together. Then I'm gonna make the same teeth where I've marked off in here. Can you see? These teeth are gonna join together and lock together. All right. Then I'm going to take my stem, just dip my finger in the water, just that much, and then just put a drop of water on there. Then make sure I know which way I want the stem going, which I want this way. I'm going to I set it down, just like that. Then I'm going to put my finger on the underside of that stem, push down until I see the water squirt out the sides of my stem. And then see that it's pretty well stuck together. Now this is where you might use your wooden modeling tool. Can you see that? Mm-hmm. Is you could come in here and you work that clay together. See how I'm pushing down the sides to create a nice joint. So that is never ever going to come apart. Push down a little bit. Then once I've got that down, then I shape and smooth my stem so it looks like a pumpkin stem. And pumpkin stems are not symmetrical, they're organic, so it doesn't have to look perfectly one shape or the other. And pumpkin stems are cut off, so I want a flat edge, like someone cut it off. And that is how you put a pumpkin stem on, or you slip and score anything onto anything. Remember, anything stuck to the outside has to be slipped and scored on. Okay, and now it's going to sit up here on my pumpkin. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to put another vine on my pumpkin as decoration. So what I do is figure out about how long I want that vine to be. And I'm going to take and kind of just put it on there to get an idea about where I think it's going to go, which is about right there, just like that. Now what I'm going to do next, take my potter's needle, and all this little scrap clay I've been putting on a little ball here. This I'm going to recondition. And what I do is I outline very lightly. I'm not going to score the groove, because the more detail you put in a piece, the more people like to look at it, the more interesting it is. And then I'm going to mark on the vine where I'm going to stop scoring the vine. Then I know where it's going to be. I take my vine off, and I'm going to come in here, and again I'm going to make my little clay zipper teeth by scoring the pot. Okay, that's where my vine's going to end up. Now I've got to score my vine. Okay, that's where I marked I don't need any scoring. Okay, then I'm going to take, once again, dip my finger in the water, and just a drop of water. That's all I need to be able to score. Okay. Then I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take, and, oops, better take this off. Put my hand on the inside, I push down, see how the water squirts out? That means you're getting a good contact. My fingers on the inside as my thumb presses down on the outside. Push that all the way down to the ground. And squeezing it together, just get the water to squirt out. Then I'm going to take my potter's needle. You can use both ends of a potter's needle. And I can take the handle, come in here and smooth this area off a little bit. Now, take the wooden modeling tool and I can come in here, smooth this area off. Nice and easy. Then for the underside, oops, come on now. You may have to hold the pot and then come in here and just smooth this area off. That's what the wood modeling tool is for. Just want to clean off any clay, just stick on your recycle bat or bunch ball. Smooth that down in there, smooth this off. And now, I can do up in here. I'm going to take the wedge part, kind of come up here and smooth that part out. All right, now I've got my pumpkin vine on there. I've already made one leaf, and I know I want just an impression so that it looks like the center stem of the pumpkin leaf. I'm going to take this, and I think I want it about right here. So I'm going to repeat the process I did with the other leaf and just outline it. Take it off. And then I'm going to repeat that same process because anything I want to stick to my project has to be scored on there. Otherwise, when it dries, the clay will pull itself apart as it's drying, because even though it's the same clay, the different parts sometimes shrink at different rates, and that's why they pull apart. So you may stick them together and they don't move, and then you got to take them out and it falls apart, and we don't want that to happen. Score this all down. I'm going to score the back of my pumpkin leaf. Take my pumpkin leaf, get a finger of water, just put a little dot drip on there. I'm going to take and put this on there, watching to see that I get some of the water squeezed out. That means I'm making a good contact. And now I've got another leaf on my pot. Then I can take and use either the handle of the needle or any tool you happen to have at home. Your fingers work great. See, I'm not gonna be able to get a finger in there, so I kind of bring this in, smooth that off. And now I've got leaves on my pumpkin. The more detail you put on, the better your project's gonna look. Even the simplest projects have detail that can be added to them, and it increases the viewer's visual interest. And then I'm gonna take my needle and just kind of go in here, smooth that off a little bit. All right. And that's how you slip and score to start decorating your project. Just remember, anything you want to stick to the outside of your project needs to be slipped and scored on.